Turn on your sound, turn on your sound, turn on your sound. Hi there, everybody. Camille here from Camille's Paleo Kitchen. And we are doing an impromptu Facebook Live right now. I actually was teaching this lesson to my Paleo Cooking School private members this morning using a new video call-in software. And I had myself muted the entire time, which I didn't know. And I went back to listen to the recording and there was nothing there. So there we go. So now I decided I'm just going to re-record this with and just give it to all of you. We're talking about paleo for the holidays. As you can see, we have on one side of me, we have my dirty kitchen with the holiday ornament explosion. And on the other side, we have our Christmas tree, which I put up yesterday, or actually Craig put up yesterday, last night before we went to bed. And this morning found that our 2-year-old not only had dropped some of our, I made these salt ornaments that are really cool and easy to make. They are, it's basically white flour and a lot of salt and some water. So they're cheap, they're easy to make. I can let him, paint them and whatever, and I was excited about that. But then he went and put the ornaments into the Christmas tree water, along with some of his toys, along with Craig's phone. So that was a little bit of a disappointment. Huge disappointment for Craig because now he needs to get a new iPhone. So that's how we're getting our Christmas started around here. But no worries. We are going to rock and roll anyway. So we are just going to take about 10 minutes to talk about tips for staying paleo through the holidays. And yeah, we're just going to dive right on in. For those of you who are just joining us, we are doing paleo for the holidays. If this is your first time here, write a little comment, let me know where you're joining us from. And if you have any specific questions about paleo for the holidays, I would love to answer those for you. Let's dive right on in. So some of you may have seen I did a Facebook Live with Michelle from Paleo FX last week. And I did paleo eggnog, I did keto energy bars, and we talked about some other ideas. So you can check out that entire Facebook Live. It is on my page in the video section. But I'll go over some of the basics now. Really, one of the biggest things I want to impart is that if you were going to eat non-paleo, maybe unhealthy things during the holidays, I highly recommend that you do it without beating yourself up and that you really take the time to actually enjoy it. I know that when I first went paleo, I was so fixated on doing everything right that when I splurged or when I ate something that wasn't paleo or I wasn't supposed to eat, I used to get really down on myself, and that for some reason really had the negative effect. You would think that if I just beat myself up enough, I will stop, doing this behavior, but it didn't work that way. Instead, it was like, oh, I shouldn't be eating this cookie right now, so let me eat 15 of them instead. Feeling really bad about myself, not really enjoying them, feeling like I'd been bad or that I had done something wrong. And it meant that I didn't even enjoy the stuff that I was putting in my body. And it actually, because I was already in this cycle of self-sabotage, it was like, oh, well, I've already gone off the wagon. I may as well just get back started tomorrow. Has anybody ever done that? Please tell me that you have done this before. Oh, I've already ruined my paleo eating for today, so I'm just going to go hog wild and start back up tomorrow, all the while really feeling bad about yourself. So I did that for a long time. It did not work, let me tell you. What I find does work is taking the time, if you're going to eat a cookie or something at a holiday party, the cheese tray, the whatever, that you take the time to stop and be present with it and enjoy it. Holiday cookies are delicious. Those things, those cheese balls at parties, also delicious. And I know for me, if I just enjoy a little bit of it, take the time to like it, I can stop. I don't have to eat an entire cheese ball. I don't have to eat 17 cookies. I can eat 1 or 2 and be happy about it and not feel bad for days or weeks after that. So that is tip number 1, is take the time to be present with the things you are choosing to eat, whether they are paleo or not. For those of you who are just joining us, my name is Camille from Camille's Paleo Kitchen, and we are talking about my favorite tips and strategies for staying healthy during the season. And if this is your first time here, let me know where you're joining us from, and if you have any questions, I am ready to answer them for you. So let's move on to tip number 2. And this is critical in my opinion, and that is never go to a holiday party hungry. If you do that, you will eat all the things, I guarantee. So just fill yourself up before you go with a meal, preferably that's got some healthy fats, some veggies, some good quality protein, and you're going to be far less tempted to eat something that you shouldn't be eating if you arrive with a full stomach. I'm not sure if any of you have read Rob Wolf's new book, but it's called Wired to Eat. And in that, he talks about the hyperpalatability of food. And we are literally hardwired in our DNA from our hunter and gatherer times that when we see a spread of food that is hyperpalatable, meaning sugary, salty, fatty, that we want to eat it all, because there's the part of us that still isn't sure where our next meal is going to come from. Now, obviously, that isn't a problem for most of us anymore, but it's still ingrained in us. And so it's really easy once you get the flavor of the salty, the fatty, the sugary, all of that, to want to keep eating and eating and eating and eating, which I mean, we all know if you've ever, eaten a sleeve of donuts or Pringles, that once you start, it's really difficult to stop. And food companies spend a lot of money on the hyperpalatability of food. And so one of the best ways that I have found is to just make sure that I am filling myself up before I go out. You could try the keto energy bars that I've been sharing a bunch on the page. Those are really great. Those are great to just have around because they have so much fat in them that after I just had one for breakfast and I'm totally good. I don't have any hunger cravings, and it just helps. It's going to help my brain function for the next several hours. So that is a really great recipe. You could also, if you wanted, take a batch of them to a party, and there's certainly going to be other people there who would really appreciate having a low sugar, high fat thing to eat, especially now that keto and paleo have become so much more popular. So definitely check out that recipe. There is a link for it in the post, or just take the time to bring paleo friendly treats to your holiday parties, both so you have something to eat for yourself and also for people who may think that this paleo thing or keto thing that you're doing is really strange. That once they try it, like, we know that this food tastes really good. And my experience has shown me that trying to convert people to eating paleo typically doesn't go very well. But if you put some really delicious food in front of them, just after they say, oh, wow, this is really good, or this is, what is this? Then you can tell them. And that I have actually converted people to eating paleo who didn't have any interest in it. It wasn't on their radar. They were, they didn't really know anything about it. But after they tried the food, that then gave me an opening to share with them, oh yeah, this is why I do paleo, and this is what it is, and this is what it isn't. And, I've lost weight, I've, managed, X, Y, and Z condition, whatever it is for you. that is going to be a much more powerful way to share what you're doing with people than just, hey, you should do this thing I'm doing, and what I'm doing is the best. That doesn't really work so well. So yeah, so take the opportunity this holiday season to share the deliciousness of paleo with just making some paleo recipes, appetizers for entertaining. I have some free ones. There's a link below for my, you can get the paleo eggnog, the keto energy bars, and then I have recipe for bone marrow, which is delicious for the holidays, and also a chicken liver pate recipe that I really like, even though I almost never like liver, and chicken liver is really healthy. And it's something that during the holidays people like and expect to, to eat that on a little cracker or something. So you can click the link below to get those recipes. There's also a paleo baking substitution guide that I included in that, as well as my paleo starters kit. So you can check those out. And yeah, so that's really my recommendation around that, is to take the time to make something paleo friendly and bring it to a party. There's so many things on Pinterest and in the blogosphere. I've got lots of recipes at Paleo Kitchen TV, and if you go to the video section of my page, there's lots of different ideas for holiday entertaining recipes that are really delicious. There's also the bacon and jalapeno wrapped shrimp that we did in episode 10 of my TV show. I put the link below, with Tony Federico, and oh man, those super easy and really delicious. We also did a key lime parfait recipe, and we did these little veggie burgers or garden burgers that is beef with a whole bunch of veggies. And I think for a holiday party, something that would be really cute is to make some of those veggie burgers and turn them into sliders with the paleo panini bread that we made on episode 13. Make them just in little muffin tins, and that would be an excellent way to share paleo during your next holiday party. So you can get that link below as well. For those of you who are just joining us, this is Camille from Paleo Kitchen TV, and I am just sharing some of my favorite strategies for staying healthy in paleo through the holidays. If this is your first time here, just say hi, let me know where you're joining me from, and if you have any specific questions, I would be happy to answer those for you. Okay. I'm going to get into my last point right now, and that is all around alcohol. One of the things that really puts a wrench in people's paleo eating through the holidays can be all of the drinking. I know I'm not a very big drinker. It does not make me feel good. Now, in my ripe old age of 37, I certainly can't handle alcohol the way I used to. Actually, to be honest, I could never really handle alcohol that well. It just is, it's not really good for it. It's not good for any of us. But there are some better options, and I'm going to give you some better options for holiday drinking. The first is to choose a clear hard alcohol that your body does better with. For me, I like a good quality vodka or a tequila. Some people may like a rum or a gin, and mix that with soda water, maybe a little bit of liquid stevia, and a little bit of fruit juice. And that's going to be a nice, and maybe a little bit of citrus. That will be a really nice, light holiday drink that has virtually no sugar, except for maybe a little bit of juice that you put into it. Like a touch of cranberry and some lime would be really nice for the holidays. That's super simple. And then also just make sure that you don't mix your alcohols. Most people do know that, but I know for myself, if I mix a bunch of different things, it makes me feel horrible. So choose one thing. I recommend that. Or there's another great option. If you do like to drink wine, most wine is loaded with sugar and also loaded with sulfites, and that will make for a horrible hangover. It also makes for pretty interrupted sleep the night after you were drinking. And we've been enjoying wines from this company, Dry Farms Wine, that so they don't actually make wine, they curate it, but everything they do has third-party testing for molds and mycotoxins, which are not obviously good for your body. And okay, thanks, Sherry. See you later. They will, yeah, so they do third-party, they do testing on all of the wines that they select. They're all organic, they're all sulfite-free and low sugar and mold and mycotoxin free. So they actually sent us 4 bottles last Christmas, and I had my my best friend Katie came to visit at Christmas time last year, and she likes to drink wine. She drank an entire bottle of that wine and felt totally fine the next morning. I had a couple glasses, which is my tolerance, and I also felt fine, when normally after drinking wine, it gives me a headache. So I know they're running a special promotion where you can get, like with your order, you can get like a free bottle or a 1-cent bottle of wine. And there is a link to that below. If you like wine, it's really the coolest company I've seen, because they curate all of these really nice wines. None of them are American. I think that they're mostly all French wines. Actually, I don't know if that's true. They might not all be French, but are very low sulfite or sulfite free, and they taste delicious. That helps too. So it's also a really great Christmas gift. So yeah, so those are my 3 main tips, or did I say 4? Those are my 4 main tips for the holidays. 1, just to recap, if you are going to indulge, then do so present and enjoy it and be with it. Eat the cookie. I promise you, if you are able to be present with the thing that you're eating and not feeling bad or shaming yourself for it, it's going to be much more enjoyable. You're also much less inclined to sabotage yourself and overindulge. The second is to fill up before you go out. The third is to bring healthy foods that you can eat, and then also have other people enjoy with you. There are other people at these parties who will really appreciate the extra effort that you put in to make a paleo-friendly dish. And the last is to choose your alcohol with care. So whether that be a hard alcohol with some soda water, maybe a touch of stevia and some citrus and fresh juice, or some wines from Dry Farms Wines, all of those are going to be much better choices than the smorgasbord of other drinks that you may be drinking at a holiday party. And don't mix your alcohols. So that's what I have for you today. I hope that this is helpful for you as we are right in the middle of holiday party season. And again, check out the links in the notes below to further help you stay healthy this holiday season. And oh, and then last thing, I will add the link right now. If you want to be notified when we go live, then I'm going to put a button there, and we will let you know in Messenger next time I go live. Okay? Thanks all. See you next time. Bye.